Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the show. It's been a while since I've done a build video. Do forgive if the audio in my face sync is a little off. I've been struggling with that lately. I haven't got it quite sorted out yet, but that isn't going to stop me from putting out something new. So, what we're doing today, since it's been so long since I've done a build video, I'm just going to kind of go with what I use for a barbarian these days. Oh, why is that doing that? Oh, fudgicles. Give me a sec. No. Do that. There we go. Alright. So let's try this again. We've got the barbarian I use regularly. This is Murder Go Around. He is not what he used to be. He is now a Frenzy Whirlwind Berserk Barb. This is my all-purpose, this is like an update to my favorite barbarian build, if you will. This is my all-purpose go kill anything in the game except for the Ubers, because that's just not what he's built for. That's a very specific use case that you have to build specifically for, and that's not a general use character. So this is a general use. He can survive in players 8, like he can do anything kind of thing. So, like I said, he is a sword barbarian. So, you put all your points into your mastery. You give 1 point to each of these, just so that way you have them, and then you get the extra 8 points through your skills, and they give you some really nice bonuses that are just passive. So, you come over here, put in your obligatory points to get to the things you need. What I've done is I've maxed out Frenzy, Whirlwind, and I've got some points into Berserk. Berserk is literally just for the immune to physicals. That is the only thing I use it for. You can probably survive with just a single point into it if you wanted to put your those other points into something else. Your primary attacks are going to generally be Whirlwind and Frenzy, though. So if you wanted, you could put, the points that you would have put into Berserk into the synergies for Frenzy. So yeah, something like that, I would probably just put the extra points into Double Swing. Because the other stuff just doesn't really matter. But anyway, so you can put that up a few levels, and that would give you, an extra 64% damage if you were to put, 56. It'll give you an extra 56% damage. You get your war cries. I don't see a lot of people put into this one particularly, and it's kind of surprising to me. Like, I don't see anybody else use this. I don't know why. It's fantastic. And it only takes 2 points that you wouldn't have typically put in. Taunt is essentially useless. But Battle Cry. This is what I use for taking down any of... Well, I use it for bail, I guess. But that's about it, realistically. You don't really need it for much else, but it's very helpful for being able to take down bosses quicker as a barbarian. So, 1 point into it, you have it for your boss fights. One into shout. Max out battle orders. One into battle command. And that's about it as far as skills are concerned. Like I said, the rest you just put in the ones that you need to get to the things you need. But, like, having 1 point into Berserk would probably be fine, because that'll give you plenty of magic damage to kill anything realistically. it's not going to survive, and you're not really going to struggle with it. So, what we'll do is, I'll show you how it works. Oh, no I won't. We're going to go through gear and stats, because I'm dumb sometimes. Alright, so, we'll do that. I have a 50 base value strength, and it works. It's completely sufficient for what I'm doing. I could take a lot of my vitality and put it into strength and do a good chunk more damage, but I don't need to, and I like being able to survive things. So I may at some point do that, but the nice thing about Diablo 2 is you can play almost however you want. So 50 base strength, 85 base dexterity, 400 base vitality so far. This is at level 93. Haven't put a single point into energy. Never will. This is the extra stuff that comes off of these. So, I'm running dual griefs. I know not everybody has 2 griefs. Not everybody has 1 grief. This is not a lower end budget build currently. You can play it differently and run with more budget gear and still do just fine. But this is my guide to what I'm playing currently, so that's what this is. Couple of griefs. This one was the first grief I ever rolled and resurrected. Came out perfect attack speed, but pretty poor damage. It is what it is. I don't care. Because it's the perfect attack speed. And this one came out at 1 point more damage, but 1 point off from worst increased attack speed. So, you win some, you lose some. I don't care, I'm running 2 griefs. I'm running a cammed 198.6 Ariats because I found it. I might have pooped a little. I was very happy, and I had the Cameroon waiting specifically for that purpose when I got a good Ariats. Running a High Lords. If you want, you can pause the video so that way you can see what the stats are in each item if I'm going quicker than you prefer. I'm running a Fortitude. This was the first Fortitude I rolled in D2 Resurrected. It came out a perfect 30 resistance. The life roll is only about halfway. Like, it's a mid-roll. But I don't care. Because this is... I'd rather the resistances. Like, I can make up life a lot easier than I can resistances. And that's one of the things that none of my characters ever struggle for, is having too much life. So, I'm running a Fortitude on there. It's a light one. You can run whatever you want, whatever you have. You're just going to have to modify your base stats a little bit to make up for it sometimes. But that's why I'm able to run with such a low stat base, is because I use light armors. So, that's what I put mine in. It was a 15% enhanced Superior Dust Shroud that I had 4 sockets, so why wouldn't I? Basic Laying Hands Bramble Mitts. The increased attack speed, the damage to demons, and the fire resist is just inarguably best in slot. Rings are going to vary based on what you have, honestly, but generally speaking, you're going to want stats and leech. So, that being said, these are my rings. They're not too shabby. They're not, great, but they're not too shabby. This one, 101 to attack rating, 20 strength, 15 dexterity, 7 energy, 9 cold resist, 30 lightning resist. It's a big stat load on a single piece of equipment. Like, that is a big stat load on a ring. So, quite happy about that. And this was one that I gambled for and found on stream. I was very happy with that as well. I'm always wanting better, but I'm not complaining at all about this one. So, run over Dungos because I like having the damage reduction and the vitality, and it's just a damn good belt. There's a lot of options you can choose from out there. So it's mostly personal preference. I went with this damn fine Verdungos that I found. Gore Riders, minor 196s, any will work. We all know what Gore Riders do. They're delicious. They're tasty. Okay, so we got charms. These are all just max damage charms. Put as many on as you can. You're not going to struggle for life. You got plenty. So just crank out as much damage as you possibly can through your charms. That's how I do it. That was a gift from one of my subscribers. And I thank him for it. It's like a 4 max damage small charm. What the hell? That's excellent. And these are all just, 3s. Obviously running a torch. Obviously running an Annihilus. This is not a poor man's build. But, again, as I've said before, these are not necessary components. You can run this type of build of a Barbarian with much lower end equipment and still do very, very well. You can still solo the entire game on much lower tier equipment. You don't need this high end of equipment. So, that being said, on the swap hand, I'm just running a couple of spirits. Because if I want Warcries, that's 4 to Warcries right there. They're super cheap. They're easier to get than +3 to Warcry weapons. And if you don't feel like running, you can throw something like this on. You come over to your mercenary. And you can put something like Insight on. So that way you get massive, massive mana regeneration. So I'll show you this. So you have 850 mana as a Barbarian. And you can just endlessly teleport. Like, anywhere you want to go, you can go. And you've got an almost 5,000 hit point meat shield that can just stand there and take any kind of abuse you want to throw at him. Like, and he just has essentially infinite mana. So this is good if you want to take and go farming, because you can just teleport wherever the hell you want to go. You can make it to Bale real quick if you want to do that. The way I typically do it, though, I just wanted to show you that you essentially have infinite mana doing it that way. Oh, come on now. Oh, the inventory management game. Yeah, put that back on. But that's just to show that if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. You can still teleport. You still do an insane amount of damage running dual griefs and an Enigma. Because your mercenaries running a Might Aura. Now, his typical loadout, though, is... this I gotta get an ethereal one at some point. And either shove a Ral rune in it or wait for a 15 IAS 30 fire resist jewel to drop if I ever find one. But he's got a Sacred Armor Fortitude in a perfect Sacred Armor, 15% enhanced, so that's the highest defense non-ethereal Fortitude you can get. And Pride. Again, none of these are cheap to make, but you'll see why it's worth it. So, we've got what we need. I'll show you how I do barrel runs. So, and then I just have that bound to another key. You can bind it to F8 if you want, however you want to do it. And then I typically have leap as this one, so that way I use this to get into the Chaos Sanctuary very quickly as a barbarian. It's almost as, well, it's not almost as fast, but it's much faster to do it this way than it is to just run it in most cases, or in any case realistically. But let's kill some stuff, shall we? No, that one. Splat. So we're gonna crank up our speed a little bit, and since we know that off of the waypoint it's always to the right, I don't know if there's a pattern for once you get down to the 3rd level. I haven't discovered it if there is. So you just charge this up and use that to explore quickly. Lag. You just don't really worry too much about your mercenary. He'll phase in and out here and there. But you're basically just, you go and you smack something every few seconds. Just so that way you can keep your speed up. And you can run along pretty quickly. And look at that, we're already there. And you go recast your war cries just in case. Oh, Stygian dolls. Bane of my existence. They are one of the few things in this game that can still just wreck your day. Almost in spite of what you're running. So, in a case like that, let your mercenary kill them. They don't explode. Oh, they're everywhere. Good gravy. Where are you? You, Gemelli, kill them, please. And he will. I mean, one here or there isn't really going to hurt you. It's when you get like groups of them and you whirlwind through them and they all explode and you come out the other side dead. That's what you want to watch out for. That's why I was being careful there. Now, this is only players 1 because this is a Battle.net live character. Derp. Didn't realize I hadn't gotten them all. And your best bet is to get in between these and your mercenary, so that way he hopefully doesn't die. Because they like to target him, and he likes to jump in between you and them for some reason. So, just kind of be mindful of that. There's ways you can keep him alive. Not saying it's not a constant struggle, because he's dumb. But there's ways to keep him alive. But he's kind of like the chicken from Moana. Alright, so that's 5 waves of minions. Just... And this is where this ability comes in. Quite nice. You run up, you cast it, and now you can hit him pretty much with free reign. Because he has 75% less defense. Let your Merc do whatever Merc's gonna do. And you just explode Bale. And that, my friends, is my favorite way to Bale farm. Your Barbarian is damn near indestructible. Not quite indestructible, but you gotta do something real wrong in order to die. So, if you play it right, you have no problem whatsoever, even with a significantly worse gear loadout than what I'm running currently. I just wanted to give you all an update on how I'm doing it right now. This is the way that I've found that I really enjoy playing. He is an absolute murder machine. And though he's not my favorite build, that spot is still reserved for my Amazon, which you get a build video for her coming up soon because she's changed too. So like I said, though it's not my favorite, it is absolutely my second favorite, and I find myself playing this one as much, almost, as my Amazon. But that's all for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming around and checking out what I'm doing these days. I know I don't do as much D2 content anymore, but I'll try and, remedy that a little bit and throw you guys some stuff every now and then when I can, when I feel like I have something to contribute. This is what I could do this time, so hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget you can hit like and subscribe. They are both absolutely free. They don't cost you anything, and they help my channel out immensely. But have yourself a good one, and I'll catch you next time.